You know, the thing about people, they don't realize the value of something until it's long gone. They walk around with their blindfolds on, thinking they've got the whole world figured out, thinking they can live without you. But you're not just someone they can forget. Nah, when they lost you, they lost everything. And it's funny, isn't it? They treat you like you're replaceable, like you're some old toy they can toss away when something shinier comes along. But here's the punchline. They don't get it. They don't get that without you. Their world's gonna collapse. Slowly, painfully, like a house of cards in a hurricane. And they'll look around, wondering why everything's falling apart. And by then, it's too late. You ever notice how people will say they care, but the second you're gone, they're the first ones to act like you never mattered? They move on, pretend like you were never in the picture, like your absence is just a tiny crack in their perfect little life. But cracks grow, cracks spread, and one day the whole damn thing crumbles. They'll tell you it's your fault, that you didn't try hard enough, that you weren't good enough. But you and I both know the truth. You gave everything. You put yourself out there, raw and real, while they played games. You bled for them. You cried for them. And what did you get in return? Nothing. Worse than nothing. You got betrayal. You got abandonment. You got left in the dark. But here's the kicker, kid. You were the light. You were the reason things made sense. And now, they're fumbling around in the shadows thinking they're fine, but deep down they know. Oh, they know they screwed up. And you know what? Let them suffer. Let them feel every second of your absence. Let them choke on their own regret. Because here's the thing. You don't need them. They need you. You ever feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Like no matter how hard you try, they just don't see you? That's because they're blind. They're too wrapped up in their own pathetic little lives to notice the storm you carry inside. But that storm, that's power. That's what sets you apart. And they're scared of it, terrified really, because deep down, they know you don't need them. Deep down, they know you're stronger without them. But the best part? Oh, the best part is watching them fall apart. Watching them realize that when they lost you, they lost everything that made their world make sense. They'll try to find replacements, try to fill the void you left, but it won't work. It never works, because there's only one you, and no one else can fit that mold. They'll cry, you know. They'll scream at the sky, asking why things turned out this way. But by then it's over. You've moved on. You've risen from the ashes they left you in, and you're stronger, meaner, better. And them? They're just ghosts, shadows of what they used to be. Empty, hollow. But you're free now. Free from their chains, from their lies. And the world? The world is yours to take. So don't waste your time crying over people who never really saw you. Don't waste your energy on those who let you slip through their fingers. They had their chance, and they blew it. You owe them nothing. Let them rot in their regret. Let them drown in their sorrow. And you keep moving forward. You keep rising, keep fighting, because when they lost you, they lost everything that ever mattered. You ever think about what happens when you finally decide to walk away? Really think about it. I mean, for years, they took you for granted, right? They thought you'd always be there. Always. That's what they counted on. They thought you'd be the one they could treat like garbage one day and expect you to be all smiles the next. Ha! It's a funny thing, isn't it? This idea that you're supposed to forgive, forget, and keep giving them more of you. Like you're some infinite well of second chances. But you're not. And that's the joke. That's the beautiful, cruel joke. Because one day, you wake up and you realize something. You realize you're done. You realize you don't have to be their puppet anymore. That string they thought they had on you snapped, just like that. And what do you think happens when you cut yourself free? They panic. Oh yes. At first, they think it's a bluff. Oh, they'll be back, they say. They convince themselves that you need them more than they ever needed you. But they're wrong. They don't get it yet. They don't realize that once you walk out that door, once you take that first step away from their pathetic little world, everything changes. You see, when they lost you, they didn't just lose someone who tolerated their bullshit. Nah, they lost their lifeline. You were the reason they didn't drown in their own misery. You were the one holding them up when they couldn't even stand. And they had the nerve to treat you like you were nothing, like you didn't matter. But here's where it gets interesting. You see, people like that, they never realize what they had until it's gone. You walk away, and suddenly, their world starts to crumble. They lose their grip on reality, bit by bit, day by day, until it all comes crashing down, and they'll pretend like they're fine. Oh, they'll put on a brave face, try to act like your absence doesn't affect them, but inside they're screaming, because when they lost you, they lost the glue that held them together. They thought they could replace you, thought they could fill that empty space with someone new, something new. But it never works, does it? No matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, it's never the same. Because you know what hurts them the most? It's not just losing you. No. It's the realization that they had everything they needed and they threw it away. They could have had you by their side. They could have had someone who would have fought for them, stood by them, no matter what. But they were too blind, too selfish, too stupid to see it. And now they have to live with the consequences. You see, you weren't just a part of their life. You were their life. You were the one who made them feel alive. The one who gave them purpose. And without you, they're nothing. Just empty shells, going through the motions, trying to convince themselves they're okay. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they messed up. They know they let the best thing in their life slip away. And now they have to watch you rise. Watch you become everything they never believed you could be. And it's going to tear them apart. Every success you have, every victory, every step you take further from them, it's like a knife in their gut. And they'll bleed. Oh, they'll bleed. But they'll never admit it. And that's the beauty of it. You don't need to say a word. You don't need to lift a finger. All you have to do is live. Live your life. And let them rot in their own regret. Let them see you shining brighter than ever, while they're stuck in the dark, wishing they could turn back time, wishing they could take back all the things they said, all the things they did, but they can't. It's too late. They lost you, and they lost everything. But you're free. Free to become whoever the hell you want to be. Free to rise above their lies, their games, their pathetic little attempts to hold you down. And trust me, they're gonna try. Oh, they'll try to come back. They'll crawl on their hands and knees, begging for another chance. But you don't owe them a damn thing. Not a damn thing. You gave them everything, and they threw it away. Now it's your turn to take. Take your life back. Take your power back. And don't you dare look back. Don't you dare give them the satisfaction of thinking they can ever have a piece of you again. Because you're stronger than that. You're better than that. And they're nothing without you. So, let them suffer. Let them wallow in their misery. And you keep rising. You keep fighting. Because when they lost you, they lost everything. But here's the real kicker. One day, when they're standing in the ruins of the life they thought was so solid, they'll realize the truth. They'll look around at all the people they replaced you with, all the distractions, all the noise, and it won't matter. None of it will, because no matter how much they try to pretend otherwise, the emptiness will still be there. You will still be gone. And they'll know in that quiet, crushing moment that they will never get you back. By then, you'll be so far beyond them, so far out of their reach, that they'll feel it in their bones. They lost the only thing that mattered. And you'll be stronger, colder maybe, but wiser. You'll carry the scars, sure, but they'll be your armor now. They'll be the reminder that you were always more than they ever deserved. You don't need them to validate you. You never did. So when they lost you, they lost everything. But you gained everything. You gained yourself. And in the end, that's all that ever really mattered. Now walk away and never look back. And don't be fooled. They'll spend the rest of their miserable lives trying to replace you. They'll search. They'll beg. They'll even pretend they've found something better. But deep down, they'll know. Nothing compares to what they lost. Every time they look at what their life could have been, they'll be haunted by your absence, by the gaping hole they can never fill. That's the real tragedy, isn't it? They'll carry the weight of that mistake forever, but by the time they realize it, they'll be too broken to fix anything. But you keep moving, you keep rising. You've already won simply by walking away. Let them drown in their regrets while you grow stronger, while you become everything they couldn't see. In the end, when they lost you, they lost everything. And you gained the whole damn world.